The following is an edited extract from The Human Side of Animals by Royal Dixon. Animal Scavengers and Criminals. No more remarkable creatures exist in the animal world than those that play the role of nature's scavengers and criminals. They are as numerous and varied in their methods of working as they are interesting. The only things they have in common are their profession and their appetites. As individuals, they are ugly, unattractive, and apparently void of personality and charm. Nevertheless, they have an important part to play in the scheme of things. One of the most noted of the scavengers is the jackal, the bohemian of the desert, whose territory extends from the Gulf of Persia to the Strait of Gibraltar. He travels only by night, and very rapidly. When suffering with extreme hunger, he will attack men, but this he will do only in very rare cases. As he lives entirely upon dead animals, he is more of a thief and a glutton than a robber and a murderer. He depends mostly upon flight and darkness for his protection, and rarely ventures a direct attack. With all his unlikable habits, he is truly valuable as an agent of public salubrity and an important officer of the Desert Commission of Highways. These public scavengers, while especially fond of carcasses and putrid flesh, are not averse to a little fresh meat occasionally. The jackal is truly the follower or purveyor for the lion, and oftentimes they work together. Jackals will gather in large numbers near a lion's den and howl and scream until the lions come forth to disperse them. As soon as a lion appears, they stop their noise, but when he is out of sight, they immediately begin again. This is done because game is near, and the wise jackals wish the lion to kill the game. When this is done, and the lions have eaten all except the bones, the jackals have their small feast of scraps. If you were near an oasis in the desert at the close of day, you would suddenly hear from the hot barren sands a deep and peculiar sound. It swells and grows as an approaching wind, growing louder and louder as it comes nearer. Suddenly, by the light of the campfire, you see myriads of horrid green eyes, like ghost torches in a graveyard, and hear gnashing teeth, greedy in anticipation of the garbage you have thrown away. These hyena hordes are frightfully ugly, but rarely dangerous to men. They visit every oasis settlement in immense numbers, howling, yelping, and fighting for any bit of offal they may find. Not a particle of garbage remains. At the first sight of dawn, they disappear like rats from a burning building, and seek their caves to digest their ignoble banquets. No human street cleaner could ever excel their work. No matter how large the garbage pile, no matter how many dead dogs, cats, and donkeys in the village street, no matter how unspeakable the offal, it all vanishes as completely as though it had been burned. Not a piece of bone, not a single chicken feather remains. The natives have no fear of the hyena. A small child armed with a stick can put to flight a dozen of them. They are the lowest of cowards and will flee from their own shadows. In spite of their valuable services, mankind hates the hyenas. This is probably because of their absolute cowardice, for they will never attack a living creature unless it is weak from illness. Sometimes they steal a baby, never killing it outright, but carrying it away to their dens to starve it to death before mutilating its body. If the courage of this beast equaled his strength, he would be the despot of the desert. But he is like his fellow workman, the jackal, cowardly to the last degree. You have just listened to an edited extract from The Human Side of Animals by Royal Dixon. Download a PDF copy by clicking on the link in the description below.